Good morning, class. As we continue on our journey through the multiplication unit, we are now ready for chapter 4. So if you don't have them already, you need to tear out pages 191 and 193 from your GoMath textbook. Pause the video if you need to go do so. All right, today's lesson is focused on multiplying with 2 and 4. Your essential question is, how can you multiply with 2 and 4? Let's unlock the problem. 2 students are in a play. Each of the students has 3 costumes. How many costumes do they have in all? Okay, so we're multiplying when there are 2 equal groups is like adding doubles, right? Okay, the word each tells me that I have equal groups or that I'm going to multiply. How can you find the number of costumes the 2 students have? Well, it looks like we're going to draw a picture. So we're going to draw those equal groups. And since we don't have our multiplication table memorized yet, then we need to use other strategies such as drawing equal groups to solve these problems. So because we have 2 students and each has 3 costumes, 2 times 3, we need to find 2 times 3. So to model this, remember this is 2 groups of 3. We are drawing 2 groups. Each group represents a student, and each student has 3 costumes. So we need to draw counters to represent the 3 costumes that each student has. So that means this student has 1, 2, 3 costumes. This student has 1, 2, 3 costumes. 2 groups of 3. So think 3 plus 3. If you use repeated addition, this would be 3 plus 3, which you know totals 6. To record it, you would write it as 2 groups of 3, or 2 times 3 equals 6. 2 is how many groups you have, 3 how many in each group, and 6 is how many in all. So the 2 students have 6 costumes in all. Let's look at our 2's facts, which is perfect because you are memorizing your 2's this week. We're going to look at 2's and we're going to think of it as doubles. Okay? Double facts, repeated addition. So 2 times 1 is the same as 2 sets of 1. So 1 plus 1, which equals 2. 2 times 2 is the same of 2 sets of 2. 1, 2, 4. 2 times, well, what are we adding? 3 is the same as 3 plus 3, which equals 6. 2 times 4 is the same as 4 plus 4. You're just doubling the number that's not 2. 2 times 5 is the same as 5 plus 5, which we know is 10. 2 times 6 is the same as 6 plus 6, which is 12. You should know your addition facts by memory, especially after we've been practicing on extra math leading up to this point. 2 times 7 is 7 plus 7, which is 14. 2 times 8 is the same as 8 plus 8, which is 16. 2 times 9 is the same as 9 plus 9, which is 18. What do you notice about these products starting over here? Remember, the products are the answers to a multiplication problem. We start out with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. The products of your factor 2 are counting by 2's. You can also see they are all even numbers. Okay, so when you're multiplying by 2's, remember you can take the number that's not 2 and double it. Double the 2, get your 4. Double the 3, get your 6. Double the 4, get your 8. Double the 5, get your 10. Double the 6, get your 12. Double the 7, get your 14. Double the 8, get 16. Double the 9, get 18. Think of 2's as doubles. So 2 times means you're going to double that number. Okay. Another strategy that you can use is the number line. And with the number line, you would be counting by 2's. So anytime you multiply by a number, you can also skip count by that same number to find your product. When there are 2 in each group, you can count by 2's to find how many there are in all. There are 4 students with 2 costumes each. How many costumes do they have in all? Okay, we're going to skip count by drawing the jumps on the number line. So I have a number line that shows me 0 to 10. Now I have 4 students with 2 costumes each. So my groups is 4. Groups of 2. Now, with a number line, I know I'm going to read that as 4 jumps of 2. So my jumps are going to be too long. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8. Notice I'm skip counting. And then I'm going to have 4 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I land on 8. So the 4 students have 8 in all. So how can you decide whether to count by 2's or double? You have to decide by figuring out what works best for you. Okay? What works best for you? If it's a larger number that you don't know, even if you doubled it, you don't know what the answer would be, then maybe you should skip count by 2's that many times. All right, here's another example of using doubles to find 4 plus 5. When you multiply with 4, you can multiply with 2 and then double the product. Okay, so I want you to think about this. 4 times 5. 4 is 2 doubled, right? So half of 4 is 2, right? Okay, so if I don't know what 4 times 5 is, could I figure out what 2 times 5 is and then double that? So here I have 2 groups of 5. I want to find out how much 4 groups of 5 are. But if I can find the total of 2 groups of 5 and then double that product, then it'll tell me the answer for 4 groups of 5. And again, this is possible because 2 doubled equals 4. So we're taking 4 and chopping it in half. So 2 groups of 5 equals 10. 5, 10. Now I'm going to double the 10. So 10 plus 10 is 20. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 5 is 20. You also could skip count by 5's because 5 is a friendly number. 5, 10, 15, 20. But you won't always have a friendly number. If this said 4 times 7, which actually it says right here, using doubles is going to be helpful because skip counting by 7 4 times is not always the easiest. So half of 4 is 2. So if I find 2 times 7, and I double it, then I know what 4 times 7 is. So here's 2 times 7, 2 groups of 7. So that's like 7. That's like saying 7 plus 7. Well, I know that. What's 7 plus 7? 14. Now I'm going to double that product. 14 plus 14 equals 28. So that tells me that 4 groups of 7 or 4 times 7 equals 28. All right. Write a multiplication sentence for the model. And I want you to remember that the order matters. And you should already be really good at this. So I'm going to have you go ahead and do number 2 and number 3 while I wait. Okay. How many groups do we have here? 2. We have 2 groups of 2. Well, I can either double this 2 to 4, or I can skip count to 4, or I can count these up 1, 2, 3, 4 to find that 2 groups of 2, or 2 times 2 equals 4. If that's not what you had, please make a change. Number 3, how many groups are there? 1, 2, 3 groups. So I have 3 groups of how many in each group? 4. 3 groups of 4, or 3 times 4. Now, I can use repeated addition, 4 plus 4 plus 4. I can count them all up. I could even skip count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, so here's where I really need you to listen. See all these multiplication problems? They're all 2s and 4s. You should be memorizing your 2s this week, and if you already know them, fantastic. However, we're not guessing. Okay, that is not what we are here to do. We are not here to guess. So, we are going to use strategies that we have learned. So, you might need to grab an extra piece of paper, your math journal, or your whiteboard. I'll give you a minute to do that. Okay. 6 times 2. All right, well, any number times 2, I know I can double it, right? So what's 6 plus 6? 12. Okay, 9 times 4. Okay, so I know I can do 2s and double it, but you shouldn't do that part in your head. So if I do 9 times 2, right? So that would be 9 plus 9. What is 9 plus 9? 18. So 9 plus 9, or 2 times 9, is 18. But I need to double it to find what 9 times 4 equals. So to double this, I need to add it again. So 8 plus 8 is 16, and it's 36. Now, if this number part doesn't make sense to you, you could have drawn, whoops, 2 groups of 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Found your total and doubled it. Either way works, but you know that your answer is 36. You should not use a multiplication table. You should not guess. You need to be working these out until you have all your facts memorized. 2s are the ones that you can do mostly in your head. So look at number 6. 2 times 7. Well, 2s mean doubles, so let's double 7. What's 7 plus 7? 14. Good. 2 times 7 equals 14. 8 times 4. Okay. Well, let's double it. So, half of 4 is 2, so let's do 2 8s. So 8 plus 8 equals 16. So now I know that 2 times 8 equals 16, but I need to know 4 times 8. So I have to double my answer. So I'm going to write it again. 6 and 6 is 12, 32. Again, you could have drawn a picture, skip counted, done whatever works best for you. Once you have your facts memorized, you won't have to use all these different strategies. All right, number 8, do it on your own. 5 times 2. Hopefully you recognize that it's a 2's fact, so the number that's not a 2 can be doubled. So 5 plus 5 equals 10. If you got that correct, give yourself a pat on the back. All right. Number 9, 10 times 4. Well, we want to use doubles, but wait, can't we count by 10? Isn't 10 an easy one? So I could do 10 times 2 and double it, 100%. But couldn't I count by 10 4 times? Couldn't I say, use 4 fingers and say 10, 20, 30, 40? I could. If I wanted to do my doubles facts, I could say 10 times 2 is 20, and I double that and it's 40. But when it's an easy number like 10 or 5, you can skip count. 2 times 9, well, doubles. What's 9 plus 9? 18, good. 4 times 6, here we go. Time to draw a picture. So let's halves it. Let's do 2 times 6. So 2 times 6 would be the same as 6 plus 6, which I know equals 12, right? Then to show 4 times 6, I need to double this answer. And that gets me 24. Again, please do not do all of these in your head. 7 times 2. Well, we're doubling. What's 7 plus 7? 14. Good. 2 times 0. Oh, what is the 0 rule? Think about it. Any number times 0 equals 0. Boom. Okay, here we go. 4 times 3. All right, let's halvesy it. So 2 times 3 would be 3 plus 3, which I know equals 6, right? And then we double that to get 12, which means 4 times 3 equals 12. Okay, 2 times 8, double it. What's 8 plus 8? 16, good. 4 times 4. Well, 2 times 4 would be 4 plus 4, which is 8. And we need to double that to make it a 4's fact, which then equals 16. 10 times 2. Well, we're just doubling the 10. 10, 20. And lastly, 4 times 5. Again, you can halve this, you can draw it out, but since it's a 5 and you probably are good at counting by 5s, you can use 4 fingers and count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay. Here we go. Look at the chart down here that says look for structure. We are going to solve to find the products for each factor 2 and 4. Okay, it's just like a multiplication table. You have your multiplication symbol in the corner here. You have your factor 2, your factor 4, and then you have the factor they're multiplying against. So here we go. 2 times 1 is 2. We know that any number times 1 equals that number. 2 times 2, 2, 4. 2 times 3, 2, 4, 6. 2 times 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. 2 times 5, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2 times 6. Well, what's 6 plus 6? 12. 2 times 7. What's 7 plus 7? 14. 2 times 8. What's 8 plus 8? 16. 2 times 9. What's 9 plus 9? 18. And 2 times 10. What's 10 plus 10? 20. What pattern do you see with the products of the 2's? Hopefully you see what I see. I see all even numbers, and I see they are counting by 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So now let's do 4s. Let's think about what we know. I know that 2 doubled equals 4. So could I make the prediction that the product doubled will be the product of that 4's fact? Let's see. 4 times 1, well, any number times 1 equals that number. 4 times 2, 2, 4, 6, 8. 2 doubled equals 4. 4 doubled equals 8. Can I continue with that pattern? Yes, I can, because that's actually the same pattern that we used up here to solve these problems, is the doubling trick. We took our 4 and we halved it to 2, we found the product and we doubled it. Remember? So let's double it. What's 6 plus 6? 12. 8 plus 8? 16. 10 plus 10? 20. 12 plus 12? 24. 14 plus 14. Getting into big numbers here. You might need to write some of these to the side. Now, look at the products on your 4 row. What patterns do you notice? First off, I notice that they are all even numbers. All these 4's products are even numbers. The second thing that I notice is that they are skip counting by 4. And remember, early on in this, I taught you that if you're not comfortable skip counting by 4's, that you can skip count by 2's twice, which is the same as doubling the 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. See what I mean? Same thing. All right. Now, I'm going to solve these and let you watch me because you don't have your facts memorized yet. So 4 times 8, I can use my guide here. 4 times 8 equals 32. So I know this side needs to equal 32. So that's the same as saying 16 plus, wait a minute, look. 16 doubled is 32, so 16 plus 16. Okay. So 20 equals 2 times what? Well, 20 is the same as what? 2 times 10, right? Because if 10 doubled equals 20, then 2 times 10 is doubling 10. 8 times 2. Well, 8 times 2 equals 16. And 10 plus what would equal 16? 6. Lindsay, Lewis, Sally, and Matt each bring 5 guests to the school play. How many guests did they all bring to the school play? The first thing you're not going to do is guess. We're going to draw a picture. So I have how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people, which means I have 4 groups. So draw your 4 groups. Each person brought 5 guests. So I have how many in each group? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you should have 4 groups of 5. So how would we write that? 4 groups of 5. So now we need to find out the total. So if we find the total of 2 groups, can't we double that to find the total of 4 groups? Absolutely. So 2 groups would be 5, 10. And if you doubled that, 10 plus 10, it's 20. You could also, because you're using 5s, count by 5 all the way down. 5, 10, 15, 20. So 20 is my answer, but I'm not done because I need a label. Go back to where it says how many. How many what? How many guests. So 20 guests is your answer. Have fun learning.